I don't feel alright. I lose my life. Maybe right now.
Right, bro. So, like I said, thank you for your time. Welcome by Behind the Pump podcast. My name is Robin, and like I said, we were just starting a podcast, having some bodybuilders over because, well, as you know yourself as well, our bodybuilding community it's pretty small. We know everybody, but we don't know each other, right? So that's really what our podcast is doing. Really looking behind what's behind physique, who's the person behind the bodybuilding image they have actually.
Right.
So yeah, that's basically what we're doing here. So yeah, man, I just want to invite you to tell a little bit more about yourself, your biography, some career insights, and your bodybuilding journey, man. Actually, from your youth to IFB Pro and from the position where you're at right now.
Got you. Yeah, no, I appreciate you guys having me on, first of all.
Sure.
But I mean, oh, one sec. Got a package.
Valhalla Biolabs.
But no, I mean, where it all started from. So I wasn't into bodybuilding at all. That wasn't a thing for me. People would throw it out there, but it was just kind of one of those things where it was like, yeah, I'm not getting on stage in underwear. You know what I mean?
We've
I'll
all
do
been there, bro.
men's
What kind of gay shit is that?
Yeah. And so, it's funny, because I played football. That was
Yeah.
first love, and it was, I mean, coming up as a kid, it was just known already. We're going to go far. Getting into my high school, days of football, I went to Hug High School. We probably had 30 kids on our team. 11 of us, 12 of us went, no, 11 of us went both ways. So I never left the field. I was on offense, defense, special teams, everything. A few of my friends, Duke Williams, Courtney Gardner, Ryan Jones, they all went to the NFL as well.
Oh, really?
And Duke was the only one to have a successful season in it. So I believe he did 4 years in there. Courtney hurt his finger. Ryan Jones ended up passing away. And I had a hamstring injury. So Duke was the only one, to lead the way for us, which is, dope, having someone from my hometown make it. And then after my injury, hamstring never came back to, the way it should have. So I came back here to Reno, met someone, and she did bodybuilding.
Really?
Her whole friend group was bodybuilding, and that's all I hung out with. So they kept talking about it, and they were telling me I should do it. So I was just like, you know what? Like, why not?
Yeah.
So I ended up jumping into a show, and I was so scared. Like, we have pictures, and it looks like I see a ghost, And I ended up winning that show, winning overall. And I jumped into a prep like 3 weeks out.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so
But you're quite lean from yourself already, right?
Right. And I
Yeah.
did football too, so I've always stayed lean. And the nutrition shop out here, Phil's Discount, he was like, if you do the show, I'll sponsor you. Like, just make sure you do the show. So I'm like, okay, cool. He goes, well, whatever you're doing, just keep doing that. It's working.
Yeah.
So one day I go in there to do some posing practice, and I walk in, I'm eating In and Out. He goes, what are you doing? I was like,
3 weeks out?
eating In and Out,
That's crazy,
And,
man.
He goes, is that what you've been eating? I said, every day.
Really?
In and Out, no cardio, no clean, no
Bro, that's crazy.
straight genetics on this one, But we ended up winning, and then I went to Canada to compete at the
Wait, you even ended up winning the show
Yeah.
with eating In and Out for 3 weeks in the prep. Bro,
Oh, yeah.
that's straight up disrespectful, actually.
But I'm not knowing what comes with bodybuilding,
Yeah.
And it's one of those ones where when I'm seeing them taking their supplements and their clenbuterol, Anavar, Winstrol, all that, I don't know about any of that. You know, I just jumped in. And even when I did my first pro amateur show was the Vancouver Pro Show, and it's a national qualifier. I had no idea what that meant. Well, I ended up getting third there. And I was like, fourth. I'm like, oh, I suck at this. I quit.
Yeah.
I'm going back to football, you know, and then everyone's just like, dude, this is a big show. And you just got third, you know. And the athletes backstage were asking me, they're like, so what's your stack? You know, and I'm like, stack? They're like, yeah, what do you take? And I'm telling you, I take Ronnie Coleman King Mavs. I take creatine by Jet, like that. You know, I'm telling all the stuff.
Some in and out double doubles.
The good stuff, you know, what is it? And
Yeah.
I'm like, no, bro, I don't take any of that. And they looked at me in disbelief, you know, like, we're back here running all this shit and you just strolling in and get third, you know. But then that's when I kind of knew, like, I want to go all the way with this. So then I took a year off, just in the gym. Still didn't have a coach or anything. I did the Simpson Showdown in Vegas, and I ended up winning the overall there. And he goes, I'm going to pay for you to go to nationals to USA. He's the promoter.
Crazy.
So I was like, all right, cool. He was like, just come tighter, come more dry. I don't know what this means, but okay. And
Let's do it.
I'm in the gym, and then my first coach, I see him walk, or he sees me walking. He goes, hey, you look good, but let me help you look nationals. He goes, you don't have to pay me, just post about me, you know, that I'm helping you. I'm like, all right. And I remember him sending me my diet, my protocol, whatever, and I text him back, hey, what's test E? And then, yeah, it was test E, EQ, and I forget what, and Anavar. So I'm asking what these things are. And he goes, are you kidding me? I said, no.
So at this point, you were still natural.
Yeah. So still 100%.
That's great, crazy.
Yeah.
Man.
So he
Vancouver
sent it to me.
Showdown.
I don't even think Phil Heath went to the nationals, natty.
Yeah. So,
He won his nationals on like a minimum dose, but he wasn't natural anymore when he went to the nationals.
right.
Crazy.
Yeah.
That's
So
crazy, man.
it's insane. Like, because I think about it to this day. And when he sends me the stuff, and I'm like, okay, now how do I take it? You know? So he has to walk me through that. And it's funny because the girl I was dating at the time, she was actually the one pinning me, you know? Because I didn't know how to do it.
That's a
Yeah.
keeper.
That's a keeper.
So, it was cool. You know, it was cool. I ended up winning my national show. I didn't win the overall there, but we turned pro 2019. 2020 was COVID, so I didn't do any competitions. 2021 came, I did Indie Pro. In 212, we won that one. And then I went to Olympia 212, and I got 10th there. And they told me, so I capped out, I was 213. They were like, you got to lose 0.5 pounds. So I'm like, I'll go pee, you know? Went to the bathroom, came back. They were like, nope, not there yet. I'm in the bathroom, stuffing my finger down my throat, you know, trying to throw up. Nothing's working. And so then I went back to the gym. We're in Florida, by the way.
Yeah.
Get to the gym. I'm sitting in the sauna. About 45 minutes go by. No sweat. So then I'm walking on. I'm like dragging ass, you know, and my person at the time, we get in the car. She rolls up the windows, cranked on the heater. And we're driving back to the venue. Now I'm sweating like crazy. So we get there. We weigh in. And I was 211. 211.3 or something. Flat. Like, looked like shit.
Yeah,
Coach is trying to give me
dehydrated
so much food. Nothing's pulling me back out. Like, nothing's working. And again, I don't know enough about bodybuilding to know how to fix this issue.
Yeah.
So I just, like, mentally going into it, I was just like, not even there anymore, you know? But knowing what I know now, I would just drink some water, you know, after weighing in.
Yeah.
You know, and that would have brought
After
me
all
back,
those
you know?
sweating, yeah.
Yeah. But me, I'm like, just give me more. Give me pizza. Give me some, you know? But then I switch over to open. I placed fourth. And my first open show, I placed fourth. And that's when I was like, oh, this is for me. Like, I'm staying. I don't got to worry about a scale. I don't got to fast. This is it.
Yeah. Was that a big change from 212 to
Yeah.
open? Was it a big change?
I mean, yes and no. I think because as far as like protocol goes, it stayed the same. I didn't increase anything. Like, and what I mean, so since Olympia, to now, the only thing I've been on is 500 milligrams of test and zero point 0.5 of Remedex 2 times a week. And it's funny because every time my coach is talking to me, he's like, all right, we're going to really up it up this time. So I'm like, yeah, we get this, I get to see what shit does. And then he sends me shit like that. I'm like, hey, I think you fucked up. These numbers don't look right.
You gotta be mistaken right there, man.
Yeah, like, so, but yeah, with the bodybuilding thing, been to Olympia, 5 times, going 5 times because I took 24 off. And a lot of people think it was due to health reasons. But when we did the Arnold Brazil that year, they said they gave it to Rafa because his chest was fuller. He was just bigger. So I'm like, all right, like I can't tell a judge why they chose what they chose. You have to be okay with it. So I'm like, all right, I got you. And then it was just always need more size. So I was just like, I'm tired of hearing it. Let's do Cal. We won. And then it was like, all right, now we'll just go off season and grow till the following year. So many people were mad about it. I had other podcasters like, who does he think he is? There's no way. He's not Dexter Jackson. He can't just take a season off and then come back and all this shit. But I'm like, it's the same people who are getting on me saying I'm too small. So what do you want from me?
It's funny that people then ask like, who do he think he is? Well, like, who the fuck do you think you are? Talking about what somebody should do with their life.
Right.
Are you invited to the Olympia or did you qualify? No, so sit your ass down, please. Yeah, I mean, come on. But I remember that because there was a lot of controversy about it.
Yeah.
Because people thought it was about your health, like you said. But I remember you went straight into a health phase, which obviously is quite logically after a prep season, of course. But people thought you did that because of some health issues.
Yeah.
But you were just trying to get bigger for better results.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
And,
yeah.
It's just one of those things too, like, yeah, we can increase food, we can increase gear, but I believe longer is better, not more, So our doses with everything are fairly low. And it's low to where I think like, this is a lot. And then when I talk to other bodybuilders, they're like, you're not taking anything, Like you can increase.
You're like a starting cycle.
Yeah. So I'm like, and like I said, he's always saying, "No, we're really gonna, step it up a little bit this time." And what he means is we're gonna add Retta into this cut next time, But it's a good thing. He cares about health, So because by all means, we can do a lot more than what we do, but if we're making progress with the little we do, why increase it?
And you're still that was already with Justin Jacoby, right?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm still with Justin. Since 2023, I was with Justin Jacoby. And this is like what I tell people too. Each coach is only going to take us so far. My first coach was, he was good enough to make me a pro. But when it came to these open shows, it wasn't his thing. When I got with my next coach was Dylan Blum, it was one of those things where he was able to help me win shows, but when it coming to Olympia, it was like he was so unsure about what to do. Right. So at peak week, I want to turn my brain off and you guide me. You land this plane now. But it was just one of those things where he was like, "So what do you think we should do?" I'm like, I mean,
bro, that's your job.
Right. So and he was scared to mess up.
Yeah.
And I'm not, and just like I told Justin, like whatever you say, I'm gonna do it. If it goes left, cool, we learn. But I'm not gonna be that guy that's like, oh fuck this coach, he's an idiot, he doesn't know what he's doing. It's we figure something out that doesn't work, and now we're gonna find what works. And for Olympia, 2023, when I got eighth, I was eating burgers to try to carve up and fill up. But the problem was it was just going right through, so I'll just get flat. I'll wake up even lighter, So he was like, "This isn't working." In my head, I'm like, "No, I think this is working. We're getting tighter." He was like, "No, we're getting flat." So
yeah, exactly.
He switched it to where we would do like 500 grams of rice with 25 grams of honey and bacon strips. So I'll cook bacon, break it up, and put it on there, and I'll eat that, and night and day difference. So it was one of so when we did this past Olympia, that's what we did. For Mexico, that's what we did. Legion, all these shows. That's what we did, and I look 10 times better.
That's
So
awesome, man.
you know what I mean?
But
So
do you
it's
also
telling
feel?
there.
Do you also feel better?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, way better. I don't feel sluggish. My posing doesn't seem harder to do. I can still pull in vacuum and everything.
Yeah.
I think that's where people go wrong when it's like peak week. They overeat, they spill over, or they can't even hold their gut in now, and breathing's heavy. So posing feels harder. But those little foods that we do, I mean, 500 grams of rice is a lot, but it's easy to get down, and
Doable,
it
yeah.
doesn't. You know what I mean? It's not taxing on the body.
No,
Like
no,
going to eat
exactly.
10 ounces of steak or something and potatoes.
No, that sits.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's gonna sit right there. Yeah.
right. But
But actually, the honey, but even in the off season, like Robin and I did a regional show in December and a pro qualifier. He got fourth, I think, in the heavyweights or fifth, Robin.
Um I got first in the novice heavyweight at the regional, fourth at the open heavyweight at the regional, and sixth at the heavyweight at the pro qualifier.
nice.
Yeah. And so we did, there was 2 day shows or two different shows on 2 days. So I did regional. I was first in the juniors. I'm still a junior. And it was funny because I'm still a junior and also a super heavyweight. And I also won the super heavyweights. So that was fun. And then the day after, I was third on the super heavyweights from 14 guys. But I wanted
Yeah,
to say is the honey and the rice thing is OG. That I even
yeah,
now, even in the rebound, if I'm driving up the calories, I'm already at 6,500. So I need to really eat to get big. But the honey, almond butter, chicken and rice, it's golden.
yeah.
It's
That's
so
everything,
easy, and
right?
I'm a sweet tooth because you're like the in and out and the burgers. I'm big fan of smash burgers and a Ben and Jerry. Give me 2 pies and I'm good. It's
This guy recently found out about smash burgers. Actually, I think you had your first smash burger right after the show, somewhere like that, right? Or it was
Okay.
like
yeah,
some
yeah, yeah,
cheat
yeah.
somewhere in prep or whatever. But he had them, and he had them with like fries with a truffle mayonnaise with it. He could not shut up about that shit. It
But that
was
was
just
the that was
smash
that was
burgers
a fun
this, smash
question
burgers that. It was insane, man.
Yeah.
because let me ask you a question. The last podcast that's out today was with Justin, and I asked Justin because I know Justin. He's my coach with on a friend level, and he's a sweet tooth as well. So I'm really curious. What is your go-to cheat meal? I know in and out, but what's if you have one meal favorite cheat meal? What is it?
Oh, French toast, eggs, and bacon.
Hey,
Yeah, basically breakfast food. It's the
Oh
same as
yeah,
what Justin said, man.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm a lover of breakfast as well.
It's
It's
something about
amazing.
that sweet and salt,
Sweet
mix.
and savory.
exactly.
Perfect.
Yeah, absolutely, man. That's
Hey,
it.
I was scrolling to your Instagram and I saw you had a motorcycle accident. Is that true?
Oh
Was that
yeah,
last year or even later
that
or
was
earlier?
and it was in 2024. Yeah,
2024. You're still
yeah.
you're recovered and fully
Mhm.
okay. That was
So I
with the
still have
You had
like
a
a couple of
Hayabusa, I
burns.
saw.
So that's probably the baddest thing I still have right there.
Oh shit.
Yeah, but it like went all the way up my whole arm.
So what?
And
But
then
what happened?
I was riding, so I wasn't even speeding. For I usually speed, but this time I was just cruising, and there was a car coming out of the parking lot, and they see me coming, so they like stop. So then when I see them stop, I'm like, okay, I can go. And as I'm going, they try to just take off, and even though I hit my brakes, they were already coming. I was like, they're not stopping.
Fuck.
So yeah, I went over the car, and it was one of those things too where like I seen it happening. So I tried to grab the wheel well of the car,
Hmm.
but I missed and I went flying. And I just remember I remember rolling, sliding, and I remember actually looking up as I'm sliding on my ass, looking up and I'm side by side with another car. And when I finally stopped, I was just face down. I hear people around me talking, and I hear them say, "Just let them lay there, just let them lay there."
It's outside.
And I looked at the accident, and when I turned the other way, I just remember like just sleeping. Because when I came back to the ambulance and everybody was there. Yeah. And I heard like some ladies behind me like, stay with us, just stay with us. I'm like, in my head, I'm like, was it that bad? But then I seen a picture of the bike, and I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah, was it
Like, I
You're
shouldn't
driving
be
a
here.
Hayabusa, is it right? Was it
Yeah,
Hayabusa?
yeah.
Yeah, crazy.
Those bikes
But
only good
it's
for going straight. So
but
trying to weave out the way with that thing is not going to happen.
no,
but were you driving with gear or is it that hot? That
Yeah, I had a
uh,
helmet on.
yeah, right.
So at least it's
But are you
something,
still
man.
driving today? You're still
Yeah,
driving
so
or?
I have another bike. So I had got a slingshot. So I went the two wheels in the front, one in the back. It's like a little car.
Mm-mm-mm.
I got one of those, which they were fun. Like I'll start doing donuts in the middle of the street with that. But the problem is, if you run into traffic, you're stuck and there's no roof over it. So the sun is just beaming down on you. So I got rid of that, and now I have a R7 right now.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's cool. That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, I
yeah.
drive
So I'm back
myself,
on
but
two wheels.
yeah. No, that's cool. So I think Robin, you had some with a lot of questions for you.
Yeah, a
Yeah.
Robin,
lot of questions.
do you
Some of
kick
them
off
are
with a
actually
question?
all already answered, man. But that really doesn't matter. So we can start off with some questions right now. I mean, so we already answered this, but there's also an extension to the question. So what was your first cycle ever? We know that now. We talked about that. But how did you experience that first cycle?
Um, it was crazy. So my first show, I was 87 pounds because I was at the bottom of the light heavies.
Mm.
And then when it came to the Samson Showdown, I was like 190. Well, after that, he paid for my way for nationals. So Samson was in March, nationals was in July. Like maybe 5 weeks out when we started to test EQ. It made me real hungry. My working out was better though. Like it was just night and day. And from I weighed in again, I was at the top of light heavies. I was 198.5. So just in that little frame, how much size was able to come on, and if you look at my pictures from nationals, it was a dry look. No body fat. Like we were in.
Yeah.
And so I was like, man, this is that great. Like I'll never stop.
Got bit by the bug real quick.
You know what I mean? Like it
Yeah.
became it became addicting because it was like I've always wanted to get bigger. When I was doing college ball. So in high school, I was 165 pounds. Then I got to college, I hit 185, 195, 200.
Mm.
Yeah, 215 was the heaviest I got, but it was a normal person's weight, body fat, the
Yeah.
food and water and all that. So to have that without the fat, it was just like, oh, this is everything. Now I look like a god.
That's crazy. Yeah, man. Now we're talking. So
So
what do
yeah,
you weigh right now?
right now, so we started our cut. I'm about 242, 245.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay.
I was more. So before we started, I was hitting like 258, 260 or whatever. But then everything that happened with my mom and everything, that's when my weight, just dropped.
Well, if you don't mind asking me, what was happening with your mom? What's the situation there?
So I was going to do the Arnold,
Yeah.
but my mom, I went to the hospital. They released her, and the next day, my older brother was like, "You're going back to the hospital." And she tried to like fight with him, and then he told me, and I was like, well, tomorrow, if she's not willing to go, we will drag her there.
Yeah.
So he went to the house and called it in to the ambulance. They picked her up. They took her back to the hospital. They weren't letting her go. So around that time, she was probably in there for about 3 weeks, 4 weeks. And she had, her kidneys were failing.
Okay.
And so then I talked to Justin. I was like, yeah, I can't do the Arnold right now. Like, the last thing I would want is, me at the gym and focusing and locking in on prep or whatever, signing a contract and even traveling up there and something back home happens.
Yeah.
So my mind just wasn't in it like that. Even though the Arnold was so far away, with that what if sticking in the back of my mind, I wasn't eating. I wasn't worried about the gym. We were at the hospital, and so from that period, so she was in about 4 weeks. 2 weeks ago, we just buried her. And
Sorry, man.
every day, me and my older brother, we're in a hospital. We weren't going
Yeah.
home. The visiting hours ended at like 9 p.m., but it was one of those ones where we were like, who's going to kick us out?
I was
If you guys
about to
want to have
say, like,
security,
you could tell me something, but look at me.
yeah, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? So it was just one of those ones where like, I even, would tell them like, you can have security try every night, but I don't think they get paid enough to have to go through.
Yeah,
So they
exactly.
would let us stay. We're staying there 3, 4 a.m. Go get it, shower, change your clothes, and we're back.
Yeah.
So there was no gym, there was no meal prepping, nothing. Um, Doing all this, people were saying that I was scared and Justin's lying and we're just trying to get out of Arnold because we already signed a contract, and that actually made me mad because I would never rely on my mom's health to get out of something. And so for this to now happen, it's like, I hate to say it this way, but I bet all these people feel fucking dumb.
Yeah.
And as long as ones, if I seen some of them, I would definitely rub it in their face in a very aggressive way. So if I hadn't been leaving Reno, I just been staying here. So, but yeah,
Yeah, but
so
this is
she's finally rested. She's no longer. Just a lot of stuff was going on with her to where even the doctors were like, dialysis isn't working, and we don't know why. So we just stayed next to her now. As long as she was breathing on her own, we left it up to her. This is your fighting chance.
Yeah.
You're either going to be here with us or you're going to go back to, go to heaven. You'll be with, my grandma, all her sisters, 2 of her brothers, my little brother. So, now she's back home. So, and I think that's how I get my sleep at night, is knowing she's reunited with the people she missed the most.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
That's heavy, man. I'm really sorry to hear that.
sorry to
I
hear
remember
that.
from the podcast you had with now that you and your mom, you have a really really good connection.
Mhm.
Basically because of the period you went through when you were younger, of course. So yeah, that happened then in a moment, and people also having to say something about it. That's really fucked up, man.
But
Right,
that's
right.
also one of the questions is how do you deal with social media? And I think this is also a good bridge to the question, if I can say it like that. How do you deal with social media? Because we had Justin, what I already said, and in 2017 he was dealing with a lot of mental stress, and he told us that social media was really playing a game and playing a part in it because everybody is typing, huh? What do you say?
Yeah.
Why is he not competing? He's scared. He's signing a contract. What the heck? But how do you deal with it? Is it really in your mind, or do you like fuck them and do my own stuff?
Yeah. I mean, it's just one of those things where like, so I have a past and I've dealt with so much real life things that anything on social media is just kind of like, and these keyboard warriors, right?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
promise
obviously.
you, this ain't the energy they'll have with me in my face.
Exactly.
So, I'll either, Justin doesn't like when I do this, but I'll troll people back. I'll talk my shit back. But it's
It's the
cool
best
because,
way, actually, man.
right. It's cool because I either gain a follower from it, because as I'm talking my shit, we're gonna go back and forth a little bit, but now I'm gonna teach you something, and then
Mhm.
it's like, oh damn. So now these same people are now following me and hey, thank you for that talk we had, and because I'll DM them and then I'll, some things are for the comments and some things are for the DMs, and when I feel like when it's a teaching moment, I'm gonna leave that between you and I. Because even when you're talking to another grown man, if you're doing it in a crowd, they're gonna feel pride and ego has to be, so you got to be super careful how you approach as
Yeah.
to where when you do behind closed doors, they're more opening to, settling down and listening to what you're saying.
They
They
can't
don't have to put on the front.
they can't lose their face anymore, you know? So yeah,
Right,
I
right, right.
know what you mean. Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, with social media, bro, I don't take none of it serious. People talk their shit, and it's funny because again, I know who I am. I'm comfortable with who I am, and something my mom would always say too is if there's no enemy within, that enemy on the outside can do no harm. So like people with insecurities, when someone says something you're insecure about, that's what pisses you off.
That's kind of
You
hurt.
believe
Yeah.
it about yourself. So if you take all that shit out and someone says something, it's kind of like, all right, bro, like if you say so, you know, like so with the whole he's running and he's scared and he's this and he's that is kind of like, all right, like I'm gonna tell you, and it's up to you if you want to listen or not.
Yeah.
Like with the synthol, that was a big thing.
Yeah.
Sent on his total.
I think that's a big thing all over right now, man. I mean, it's crazy. Everybody that wins is suddenly using Sinto. Like, nah, bro, they were just better that day, man. Come on.
Right, right. Well, it's funny because it's these fucking podcasters, and I won't say their name, but he was like, he has no striations. That's why he is Cinto, you know. So I posted on my story doing a side chest. You know, you can see the striations.
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
said, is this what you're talking about? You know. And then
Yeah.
he did it about my legs. He was like, "There's no feathering in the quads." So I posted a video showing that. I'm like, "This is what you're talking about?" And
Just play him
it's,
out.
you know, it just makes them like either they're gonna back down or keep making themselves look like assholes. So I leave it up to them, you know. But Justin's always like, "Dude, don't respond. Just let it die out on its own." And I'm like, "All right, I hear you." Then I'll text him like, "Fuck that."
Yeah, but you know, like if you see the fun in it for yourself, I mean, it wouldn't do any harm, man. Like you also have people that go in on it, reply, but it actually hits them from inside.
Yeah,
But then they're awake at night, you know, like, oh man, I should have said this, I should have said that. And if you just approach it with a fun type of style, you know, it doesn't
right.
bother you. You just sleep perfectly fine after that.
Yeah,
At end of the day, that's also what the world's becoming, right? With the social media and the negativity. Look at Greg Doucette. He's screaming and yelling, and he gets all the money and all the clicks
yeah,
and all the stuff.
I mean, it's
Yeah,
it's friction, right? People love it, man.
oh
People
yeah,
love it. It's just views, and I've heard I don't know who. Well, no, I think it was Ian Valier got actually coached by Greg Doucette, and he said like at that time as a coach, as a friend, he's not the Greg you see on the videos. Obviously, it's just the character he's playing because it brings in the fucking money and a shitload of it as well.
right, right.
I mean, nobody talks like that in real life, right? I mean, I hope not. I don't
okay.
think Greg watches this, but otherwise, Greg, I'm just joking.
The next question, I think we already know the answer, but you have a son, right?
Yeah,
I
two
saw
boys.
he's training. Two boys. Yeah, the question is, if your son come up to you and says he wants to do bodybuilding, what's your answer? Is it like supporting, or is it like, maybe keep it on the
I mean, so with his thing, he wants to be big, but he wants to be football big.
Mm,
You know, when it comes to the whole bodybuilding thing, like I posted videos of him. His genetics are, you know, phenomenal, and it's one of those things where I knew I wouldn't have started using if I wasn't told you have to. You
mm,
know, I was told these are what you things you have to do because people with good genetics are doing it, and you're not going to get anywhere. You know what I mean? So it was like, okay, well, I guess this is the next step then, you know. So, but I mean, I feel like the way I look naturally, even back in my football days, I could have went far. You know, not winning some shows, but maybe not the bigger shows or you know killing it at Olympia or anything. But
mm, mm,
I would have preserved that until later days. And so when it comes to my little dudes, if he said he wanted to bodybuild, I'll let him compete, but he's not touching anything. You know, he doesn't need it, right? So as far as that goes, yeah, there's that. But I don't think until he's done with football, I think that's when he'll decide if you know bodybuilding is his next route because he does so much. You know, football, he cuts hair, he tailors clothes, he sells and does trades. So I mean, that dude's just always busy. And then my youngest, he's a boxer, so
That's
that's why
cool.
he's never in the gyms because it's a different type of training. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So although now he has to put on size because he's getting taller, so he's gonna have to fight at a heavier, you know, class. So he'll start getting into the gym, but again, it won't be all the weightlifting that we do. It'll be more a lot of the resistance training.
no.
That's cool. That's cool, man. Yeah. So I see that a lot actually, man. That from the US, bodybuilders always seem to start off with football.
Yeah,
Like what's that?
yeah,
What's that about, man? I get it. I mean, yeah, at college you go to the gym, you play football, and you get hooked to the gym. Actually, we don't really have something like that here in Europe. Actually, we don't have football teams connected to your college or whatsoever. I don't even think there are universities here in the Netherlands that have gyms.
Oh, well, I know that.
No, man. So yeah, you see it quite often in the US that they first started off with football and then going on to bodybuilding, actually, man. So that's cool.
Hmm.
That's
And
great
I mean,
stuff.
I think it helps with like the look of the muscle,
Yeah,
that hard, grainy look. That comes from years of training,
yeah, absolutely.
So having that football background where you're already lifting, you're doing all the explosive work, and the time under tension, all that is already a thing for us.
Yeah.
But now we're applying it with supplements and also dieting. Because I promise you, if any football player and ask them what their diet is, they're gonna say fast food.
Yeah,
Like seriously,
probably, yeah, yeah. But
They're burning so much.
the training, the work ethic in the training is already there. But because I mean, coaches are hard on that as well.
Right, right.
Yeah, so that you see that that reflects onto training in the gym as well. Of course, I mean you have already have that skill of training to a certain type of intensity, which
Right.
a lot of people that start off training really have to learn that skill because training to failure is skill, of course. So
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, so that takes a lot of time for some people. So that's why you see that like a lot of people that played football before getting okay or good bodybuilders or phenomenal
Hmm.
bodybuilders even. Not all of them. Like some people started off with basketball, like Phil Heath, Samo actually as well.
Oh, that's right.
Samo
Yeah.
started off as a basketball player, but he injured his knee. So yeah, that's fucked up. Okay, some other questions because that's where I'm very curious about it as well, man. So what are your biggest goals as of now for this year and the next year?
So we have some shows picked out that we want to do. Like Pittsburgh will be good. Legion Sports Fest because that's here in Reno,
Yeah,
and top five at Olympia. But as far as like overall bodybuilding career, I want to win the Olympia a few times. I want to win the Arnold a few times, and then I feel like at that point I just want to like run it up. I just want to like compete everywhere all year. And if you think about before with bodybuilding, they had like tours. Everyone's going over here, then we're traveling to France and we're traveling to Italy and so on and so forth. You don't see that nowadays.
you see that for like in the 80s, 90s, you see that they go
Right,
like
right.
everywhere indeed. Yeah, yeah, that's awesome, man.
Yeah, and now bodybuilders nowadays is like, I'll go a few states over, but I'm staying in the U.S.
There's
And
a
I'm like,
few that do it actually, and like Martin Fitzwater is one of them. Like
right.
I don't think we just discussed this with Justin Compton as well last week. I don't think he's gonna skip Prague anymore.
No,
No,
he's too
that's his
Because,
fast.
show.
and,
He
but he
can't.
also says like I want to give more to my fans in Europe as well. So I want to give them the chance. And for me, a trip to Prague, of course, it's time investing, but it's less it's less of a financial investment for me as for the fans, probably, So he says, I want
Right.
to give those fans a chance as well of getting here, getting to know me, seeing a good show, stuff like that.
Have you ever been to Amsterdam?
No,
No?
I hear about it, but no.
You should, man. Yeah, you should. When you come over, hit us up. We got a good gym. We can do some edibles, maybe. We don't have In and Out though, but we do have some damn good burgers over here as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, no,
Okay, so
that's cool, man.
that are your goals inside like bodybuilding and outside bodybuilding. You said you had your own gym. Is
Yeah,
that a big
so
goal
my
to?
he's here right now too. I don't know where he just went. But yeah, so open the gym and really just expand this even more because we have a few gyms here in Reno, but one thing Reno is known for is like crabs in a barrel. Everyone's in competition with each other when more could be made if we all came together.
Yeah,
But you know what I mean? So the goal with all of this was to build something that, Reno's never had, which is community. And even all the members here, it's if someone's working out by themselves, we'll jump in with you or we're gonna pull you over to us, because although we think it's healthy to work out alone sometimes, especially when we're going through something, it's not. You're supposed to surround yourself by, with community. And so we do that here. There's no puffing your chest and, ego or none of that shit, and kids love it. And that's my biggest thing in life right there is helping kids. So I want to put together like a community center for kids. It's very gang active around here. And if I could get my hands on them before these gangs do, then, that's a win in itself. I lost my little brother to gang violence, So,
That's heavy.
my little sister or my older sister is gang affiliated, and I was there, and something I wouldn't want my nieces or nephews, my little dudes, to have to go through. So I think that's the biggest thing I want to do in life right there.
That's beautiful, man. That's really cool. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you for that, man. It's almost 9 over here, probably 12 at yours.
Oh yeah, that went by fast, huh?
Time go quick. I don't want to hold you up any longer, man. I know you got to train as well. You probably got some other things to do as well. So I want to thank you a lot for taking the time for us and jumping onto the podcast. And hopefully you're down to have another podcast recorded in the future whatsoever.
Oh yeah,
But for now, yeah, man, it was cool. Nice meeting you. And
likewise.
all right, great, man. Thank you.
You too.
We're all gonna have an extra meal and go hit the gym.
Yeah.
We'll see you, man. See you.